IEEE. We thank you very much for your accepting to be speakers today for giving a talk on how to write a paper as well as publish a paper. And also I welcome all our students. We have here with us second year students, third year students, as well as final year students. And keeping in mind that nowadays, wherever we go, whether to the industry or to the higher studies, first they ask is, do you have published any paper? Okay, and many students does not consider it as a serious until we make it mandatory for them. So this time what we have done is, whether it is a mini project or a final project, we are making it, we are mandating them to write, at least submit a paper in the form of an IEEE format. Keeping in this mind, again, just we say to them, write a paper, they can't. So we thought first we will have this technical writing and publishing webinar, so that they will introduce to the insights of how to write a technical paper. And then I think it will be easy for them to write a paper. Whatever they do the project, the same thing they will produce in the form of a paper. So just I would like to, before starting this workshop, I will just introduce Dr. Dhanu Kumar Patanashetty. Dhanu Patanashetty is a senior client service manager at IEEE, which is based in Bangalore. Dhanu works with IEEE Explore Digital Library customers in southern and western regions of India and Sri Lanka. He handles IEEE Explore training, both on-site and via webinar and presentations. He closely works with libraries in universities, technical institutions, students, faculty researchers in academic and government and corporate sectors, and advises effective data use of their endeavors. He has a PhD in Library and Information Science from University of Mysore, master's degree in Library and Information Science, and a bachelor's degree in Engineering. He has authored 2 papers in journals and has presented a paper at an international conference. Dhanu has been with IEEE since 2010 and has worked at Thomson Reuters, Accenture, Pacific Institute of Technology and Informatics prior to joining this IEEE. I welcome you, sir, to start this technical paper writing and publishing workshop. I once again thanks for your accepting even in spite of your busy schedule. And also I say happy learning for all the students of all the second year, third year and final year students. Make use of this workshop content, whatever they're telling. It is very, very important to write a paper. Okay. Please, you can start, sir.
Sure. Thank you very much again for the opportunity provided to me today. I hope my audio and also my screen is visible
Yes,
to everybody.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. So, as you rightly told, who does not know Abhishek Paji? He has been one of the, I would say, staunch volunteer at the IEEE Bangalore section, and also and the India and also the global level. So he has been recognized as one of the highest contributing volunteer across the IEEE. So he has done several projects in spite of his work at the BMS College of Engineering and also doing PhD. He did contribute a lot. So he wore multiple hats and he has been very successful. Happy to again collaborate with him today. BMS College of Engineering does have access to the IEEE Explore digital library. So if you walk into your library, you will see posters about having access to the IEEE digital library. So you all know how important it is for anybody to have access to the scholarly research nowadays, and also at the tip of your hands. When the pandemic broke out sometime in February and also beginning of March in India, slowly we went on to the lockdown mode. So I believe your library has communicated with you the details in accessing the IEEE Explore digital library. For some reasons, if somebody has not received any details about how to access IEEE from your house or wherever you are, please let me know. I'll be happy to assist you. I'll be leaving my email ID at the end of this session. This workshop becomes a very important aspect of any engineer, because all what we do is as we slowly step into the third year and fourth year, we carry out several projects. So I believe many engineering colleges across India has this mini project concept, wherein they dedicate like a month or two, and when they are in their final year, they have like a 6 months project. Sometimes it is 1 year project. What actually happens is you have good material, you worked on something new idea, but many times student do not realize the importance of publishing that, because your work should be recognized by the global community, and it should be visible. And many a times when we, like, if I uh, can take few of the names like Professor Vijay Lakshmi or say Abhishek or your own faculty, when we speak to the students, they always say that, okay, writing is not my cup of tea. Okay, but it's not at all difficult. You just have to have that initial punch. That's why many institutions nowadays are giving a lot of importance, because this gives you a lot of visibility. Okay, tomorrow when you yourself probably have heard this, when you go to the go for the interviews, maybe for higher studies or say jobs, one important question is what was the kind of project you have done, and then if you have published the outcome as a paper, you can very well mention that I did publish a paper. It will give you a stronger, higher visibility. Okay, so please do take this seriously and try. It's not difficult, but again, you have to connect so many pieces together, and it's not at all difficult. You have a great faculty at the institution, so you just have to start talking to them, uh, write, and see. Obviously, everybody does mistakes. I also did mistakes in the beginning, but slowly we can overcome that. So please do start taking this as one small addition, so that it actually improves your writing skills, and also you will be recognized. That is very important. I talk to many students like Dr. Abhishek Apaji, and one thing I see in common is that all of them have publications. All of their name is available on the website, saying that, okay, say Dr. Subhamay or say Dr. Javed, they all have published papers at IEEE. They published their work, which many students actually do not do. So this session is just to highlight the first part. I'll be focusing on a couple of things here. Publishing choices. Okay, who is an author? What kind of choice you have? Choosing an audience, because what actually happens as soon as you send a paper to the IEEE, and paper structure, the anatomy of the paper, and also ethics, which is obviously plays the most important role, because being a student, many times I've seen students tend to do little mistakes because of their innocence, but that is sometimes unethical, and also I will explain you that today. And I'll quickly jump to author tools, and these 5 topics I'll be covering today in my presentation. Choices. Before I speak on the choice, because all of you are new to this whole topic, okay, let's see who is an author. An author is the one uh, who is part of the initial think tank. Like if there are like 3 students who are doing a project, and after 2 months they would like to publish, and they start thinking about it, those 3 are the authors. It's wherein they have made some intellectual significant contribution, so that they write,
Society.
they start methodology, and also they pick up the problem and they solve, and they publish the final
Society.
result. Sorry,
Society.
there's some background now. Who also have contributed in writing the article and also approved the final version. See, all along this phase,
Hi, we can't hear you, Dhanu.
Oh, you know what? So
No,
did
no,
was
we
I not
heard till
always in the
just
beginning?
somebody actually was talking, so I unmuted. I muted all, so you also got muted. Sorry for that.
Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, great. So what I'm telling you is that those people who have made significant intellectual contribution, who has been part of the writing journey, and who also have approved, if if all these three criteria are met by a person, they are the author. So in the interim, say for example, you visit the library, and your librarian, Dr. Chodappa, helps you with some reference documents. He tells you that, okay, please refer this journal. You have good, interesting material. Please refer this book or some magazine. So you cannot consider him to be an author because he is a supporting person. So you can thank him in the acknowledgement section of the paper. So author is the one who meets all these three criteria. Many times when we have two or more authors, the concept of corresponding authors come into picture. So this corresponding author is a liaison officer, I would say, between the team of authors and the journal. Look, as soon as you submit a paper to a journal, one person will be contacted on the updates to the article. What will happen? And this person will communicate the inputs or the feedback from the journal committee to the authors, and they discuss and they communicate back to the journals. So corresponding author is one who is a single point of contact between the authors and the journal, who also keeps the all the co-authors apprised about the status and what actually has happened on the article level. Peer review. I don't know how many are. I don't know how many of you are really aware of peer review process, because you may, because when I talk to third year students, they're just starting. When I talk to fourth year students, I would say around almost everybody probably would have read one article, maybe in a conference or journal. But when I talk to MTech, obviously they're into that. They have, would have referred many journals. So I would like to keep it generic here. I just wanted to tell how important is the peer review process, because when you complete, say, 3 months project and you have very good information or say results which you would like to publish, and you come out with an article and there is a template and you fill all the data and you try to present it, when you submit it to the journal or say conference, they won't accept it immediately. The article goes to the for the review, and the reviewer will look into many things. Is the science true here? How will this body, the article will help the knowledge to grow? Uh, have the authors taken care of everything in terms of ethics? Is this article written by somebody else, or is there a similar article available? There are many questions. And then once the reviewer is satisfied, the article gets published. There may be sometimes minor errors. Everybody does it in the beginning times. Those will be communicated back to the corresponding author, and corresponding author will make the changes. And sorry, with help of the authors, they will make the changes and resubmit the article. Okay, that's called revise and resubmit. So in all this process, the peer review process is very important. The whole, because peer review process helps you increase the value of the article, enhance the article. So that will identify some small things probably which could have been avoided. And because at the end of the day, your article is read by the people. I would say your article is read by somebody in other engineering college or say globally, and they think that okay, whatever the person has done here, it is right, and probably they will try and replicate in their work as well. Okay, so yours is a solid document in the public domain. So to ensure that there is no errors or uh, the peer review process that will actually help you enhance the quality of the article. Okay, so this is very important process. See, nowadays, again, I would like to, at least for the MTech students or some researchers, we are coming across a lot of predatory journals which claim to be peer-reviewed journals, but actually not. And they charge some money, and they will tell the students that they'll publish the article in, say, 3 days or say 7 days. Please don't fall prey to these kind of things. Take some time, hold on to some other important things and focus on this and publish it. I normally IEEE we take like 2 to 3 months to get the paper reviewed. There's a lot of process also which I'll be explaining in my presentation today. Those of you who are new, a question is always, okay, what is a conference article? What's a journal article? How these two things differ? I would start with from conference article. Say, for example, we have like MTech student who has a year-long project, or say 1.5 year long, and within 3 months, the student has very good results which he can present. And also, he has a lot of questions also that he is unable to move forward in the process of furthering the research. He has a lot of questions. Okay, he has hit a roadblock now, but he has some good results. At that point in time, approach a conference and present the paper. So conference normally accepts preliminary results and which highlight the recent work. On the other hand, a journal, after completing the project itself, the final results, wherein you would have made clear conclusions, that is accepted by the journal. Okay, and obviously journal article has high value. If you ask to any faculty, you can actually see them every year, end of the year, they would publish a document, they would send a document to the management saying that how many publications they have done, how many journals, how many conferences, articles. So journals carry a higher value and conference not that. But it doesn't mean that conference are not important, but they are actually the beginning steps for any student. So I keep hearing many authors speak on this topic, especially the editor-in-chief, and I've heard that in the beginning, a student is encouraged to submit a paper to the conference so that he slowly gets into the habit of writing papers and then slowly get onto the journal level. When we go to the audience, who are the audience? Who write scientific papers? It's not only all of us like academicians, but also people who work in the corporates and also the government sectors. So normally conferences are like 4 to 5 page, and journals sometimes somewhere vary from 7 to 9 pages. So some of you may be interested to know what will actually happen once the review process starts. Okay, once you start writing a paper, you will take probably say 1 month or say 2 months, and then you have to submit the paper. So once you submit the paper, IEEE takes, let's say, almost like sometimes 2 weeks, some 2 months, or say 3 months, and this is the flow chart. I recently found a very interesting workflow. What actually happens? Okay, this was published by one of the power research development journal, PWRD, PS journal in 2016 in a workshop. And again, this is not similar to all the IEEE journals, but this is an example of that journal. But obviously, I would say similar things will be there, but exactly not. Okay, what will actually happen? So forget about the scenarios as of now, but let's focus on the scenario number 1. As soon as you submit a paper, in the first week, it reaches the administration team. The administration team does 3 checks. The first check is scope check, because every journal will have its own readers. If you talk about, say, biomedical engineering journal, so in the biomedical engineering journal, only the topics related to that should be published. Okay, biomedical engineering journal, somebody has a paper on, say, smart city, they cannot submit to the biomedical engineering journal because it will be rejected, because biomedical engineering journal focuses only on that area which are the subtopics of biomedical engineering, not anything else. So the scope is very important. What's the scope of the journal? So you need to really look at the scope of the journal and then finalize, okay, this is the right journal for me. There's also a tip, I will be coming to that at the end of my presentation. The second check is similarity check. Some of you, especially I would say MTech students by now would have heard about anti-plagiarism. I would say in simple plain terms, in English, copying. Okay, there are 5 papers, like you are doing your work and sometimes you have to take an equation or say an image or a paragraph or some content from the other paper. What normally student does, because they are ignorant, they take the image, they take the equation, they take the paragraph, and they forget citing the original source. So that is called plagiarism. So you copied, but you're not given the proper citation to the original author. That is very important. Okay, so please do ensure that as you write, whenever you copy, or see, I would say copying and doing it here is absolutely wrong. It's not at all. But yes, you need to provide due citation to the original paper. So for example, I'm writing a paper, and Dr. Abhishek has come out with a very good image, which I would like to use in my paper for better understanding for the readers. I can use it, but I need to provide the due citation saying that this image, I have taken it from Dr. Abhishek Appaji's paper published in 2018. It's like that. The third is banned author list, what we call as prohibited author list. IEEE and many other reputed publishers, we maintain a list of people who have plagiarized, who have conducted some unethical activities and who have been caught. We ban them from publishing. Okay, so if we also will check whether the authors are part of that particular list or not. The second week, so this is the first week, what happens. The second week, we have 3 levels of people. One is editor-in-chief. The next is editor and the reviewer. So editor-in-chief, editor, and reviewer. So we have one EIC, editor-in-chief. For example, I would say 10 editors and 300 reviewers. So every editor will have a pool of, say, around 50 reviewers, for example. So the EIC, editor-in-chief, the boss of the journal, looks at the article quickly and he assigns it to an editor. Editor takes some more time, reads the article further, but won't complete it, by the way. That's the job of the reviewer. And he assigns it to a pool of, say, for example, 5 to 6 reviewers. And normally the reviewer will take 4 weeks in reviewing the article. Okay. Is the work new? Is the problem big enough? And is the methodology proper? Have the results been published properly? And many times he can redo the same work because the raw data is there, the methodology is there. He can carry out the work himself and he can look at whether the results match or not. So there's a lot of things which the reviewer looks into And then he says, okay, this article is, he will share the comments with the editor. Normally, you may have a question that in the process, does all the 5 or 6 reviewers submit the comments? It's actually not. An ideal situation. Not everybody will be able to send their comments because of some constraints, but IEEE expects at least 2 reviewers to share their comments, the feedback on the article. And based on the feedback of the article, the editor summarizes the comments and he recommends one of these 3: accept, revise and resubmit, and reject. Accept means this article is too good. You can accept this. Revise and resubmit. There are some areas wherein authors should make changes, and then it will be much more presentable and readable and understandable by the readers. So that is revise and resubmit. So this article will go back to the corresponding author, and they will revise and resubmit the article back to the journal. And the third is reject the article. This article is no good. There have been a lot of mistakes, and one thing to be very mindful in this process is reviewers are not there to review the paper from a grammar point of view, from an English point of view. No, they're only there to look at the content of the paper and are the methods proper enough. Okay, have they followed the right methodology? Okay, and they'll also suggest that you could have included a recent paper. They'll also look at what is the practical purpose of this paper, what are the implication of this paper, utility of this paper. This is also very important. So once it is done, the EIC, editor-in-chief, makes the final decision based on the comments received from the summary received from the editor. And then this is like a 12-week process. And sometimes there are 30% cases wherein we go almost like 18 weeks. And 5%, at least for this journal, they have told that sometimes the article is goes beyond many months, like 6 months, etc. But there are some reasons, very minimal. I would like to pause here for a minute and see if there are any questions on the chat. So please feel free to send me the question over the chat. Probably I'll wait for a minute. Great. So I could see that Dr. Abhishek is sharing some good information which is related, and so please do review them. So I don't want to be monotonous. Thus I thought I'll just do a quick check on this. Okay, I didn't see any questions. Again, this is not so important, but again, this I included as part of it because especially for the new beginners, they also should know how the quality of the contribution is arrived at, okay, based on the originality of the article, the innovation level, potential impact. So don't please treat these as like high-level terminologies or like high-level talk. It's not at all the purpose of the whole workshop here. The purpose of this workshop is to prepare you to start writing the paper and clear some of the basic doubts which you have. But when you start writing, you'll have 10 more different questions. Okay, so you're just listening now, but when you put things in practicality, you'll definitely come across many things. So here are some of the things like, okay, there are some articles are pushed into the unfit bucket, wherein the authors I have not even referred what has been published in the past. They try to reinvent the wheel. That's not at all the purpose. The purpose is, if you're writing an article, what is new in it? What is the new and what is the impact of the article? Deficient. Some of the articles are good, but there are better methods. There are better papers available that on the same topic. Marginal article is good, but the usefulness has to be demonstrated. Acceptable, this article has an out-of-the-box idea, and which will definitely significant advantage to the whatever the industry you are writing to. And valuable is like the top highly rated article, wherein this article really advances to the subject in the coming years. Okay. Recently, just last week, I was talking to one of the university in Coimbatore, and I was talking to a similar audience, and they asked me to include an example of reviewer comments. Okay, so what I've done is I just included here. This again is in the public domain. There is a paper. There was a paper, and for the same paper, we had 2 reviewers comment on it. Okay, give the feedback on it. Okay, so this is the reviewer 1 and reviewer 2. So this will actually help you to understand what is the expectation of a reviewer. Okay, if you see here, I just underlined some of the important feedback here. The authors have not explained the main concepts of the paper clearly. The methodology is not clear. The results are not explained properly. And overall, the paper needs better explanation of the methodology and the results. Okay. So this is the kind of comments one receives. Again, receiving comments is not at all bad thing. Actually, it is very good. Everybody should receive, and I've seen some of the well-known authors should continue to receive because they are on the improvement path. And these comments will actually help us enhance the article. And if you see the response, this is the response from the authors, and wherein they clearly say that what are the changes they have made on the article as soon as they received the feedback here. And if you see, they're very straight, clear cut, and simple. They're not elongated. They're not detailing out many things. Same paper, the reviewer 2 has given different version. That's why more and more reviewers provide their comments. It will actually lead to a much enhanced article. And if you see, I would just read out the last 2 item pieces here. The paper requires better English language editing throughout. An introduction and conclusion that clarifies scope, purpose, and practical import of the analysis. So these 2 are the main feedback from the reviewers. And if you see the response here, which is in bold, just go through the 7th and 8th. The main purpose, practical import, has been defined. The English language rating of the whole paper has been improved, including words and grammar. So they are straight, simple, short, and just addresses the need there. Why I'm actually highlighting this, as you continue to publish and grow in this area, there are many areas wherein we tend to write details. That is actually not at all required. So here is how to respond to the reviewer comments. Avoid very lengthy responses. Using cover letter, just highlight the changes made in the paper, and that's it, and provide the new version of the paper. That's all is required. All in all, whatever we discussed till now, what is it IEEE editors and reviewers looking for? Scope. By now, I believe all of you know why scope plays a very important role. Okay. Is the article appropriate for publication? Novelty. Is this original material distinct from the previous publications? Because the reviewers and editors always are smart enough. They keep themselves abreast of the latest developments. They know what has been done recently in their area of interest. So they always look at what is original in this article, what is that new in published. It doesn't mean that I'm pushing all of you to run away, but think better and start uh, writing from this point of view. Okay, what is that new you have done? Again, visibility factor, person satisfaction should be the main goal here. Validity is a study well designed and executed, wherein the methodology aspects, because when you have a problem, when you start talking to the faculty, you will hear from them, okay, what's the best way to proceed? Data, are the data reported, analyzed, and interpreted correctly? References that are current and relevant to this subject is very important. So the data, again, are they interpreted correctly? Because whatever the results also you receive, and also in the last part, that is clarity, you need to be very clear. So I was hearing a similar talk by an editor-in-chief. I asked him why clarity is very important. Because clarity is that what I heard was, my question was how to write, how to express the ideas clearly. The answer from the editor-in-chief was, if you have to express the ideas clearly, and if you have to really get a good grip of writing, you should read a lot of papers in that area, because every author is different, the way they communicate. So then you will absorb a way of communicating in the article. So when you start writing, please ensure that you have read good number of articles available in that area. So you can walk into your library, or you can walk into the IEEE Explore and read all the papers, all the relevant papers in your topic. Compliance, we do have ethical general requirements which have to be met. And also one thing which also the reviewers look at, will this article add to the body of knowledge? How significant it is? On the contrary, why the papers get rejected? Um, Many times, if it is not original, if it is copied, if it is poorly written, and they don't advance a big enough problem, and there are chances that reviewers may have misunderstood the article. That again, sole responsibility, I would say, lies with the author, because they have to really ensure that whatever they publish, they make it clear. Structure, coming to the structure of the paper, let me see if I have any questions at this point. No. 8 elements for manuscript: title, abstract, keywords, introduction, methodology, results, conclusion, references. So in any paper, we'll be finding all these elements. And when you start reading, you'll also, when you start writing, actually, you should give a good amount of time in coming out with all of this, especially the title, because that is the first impression of your the article. Okay. So when you go to a shop, or when you go to, say, a mall, that which has, say, better color, attractive piece normally attracts us. Okay. So that actually says, okay, oh, this color is new, this design is new. So why not let me take a look at it. Your paper should be like that. It should be like attractive. It should grab the reader's attention. So how to ensure that? I'll just give you some tips. What is a good title? What's a bad title? There's nothing but bad title, but I would say not a good title. You can use keywords, avoid jargons, because sometimes readers, if they don't understand one of the keyword, or say a couple of keywords in the title, they may not click that article and read, or they may not pick up that article for reading. Here is one, a human expert based approach to electrical peak demand management. And if you see, this is a good title because it is short, crisp, and to the point. And if you see the second one, a better approach of managing. So it's like too long. So people may not be able to digest everything at first go. So always keep it crisp and straight to the point. Abstract. So abstract normally everybody writes at the end of the paper. By the way, once we have the papers ready. So abstract is something which is having like 250 words. It always carries an element on what you have done, why you have done it, and how the results are useful. And at the end, it actually uh, has a piece on concrete results, which will actually help to substantiate the claims. A couple of do's and don'ts. Let me quickly jump to this. The old style was people used to write in past and past tense and passive voice. Sometimes it used to be boring because uh, it has to be attractive all along the paper. If it is a 5-pager paper, probably every paragraph should make you read the next paragraph. It's not like people should drop in between. That's why for every uh, piece of the article, so if you're looking at for the facts and present approach, you can use present tense. But style, past tense for all the literature review. So you're working on, say, um, cohorts, and when you're working in cohorts, you need to refer many other the previous papers on cohort itself and what is your inference on it. So you've done a literature review. So those you can put it in past tense, active voice in first person, so that you can bring the reader to the scene and stress that this is your work, and passive voice for most of your experimental work. Coming to the keywords. Keywords are very important. If you say, for example, go to NDTV and you search for example, uh, a keyword, maybe something latest development. So many articles which are published on that will be arriving. So how? Because each of these articles carry an indexing term called the keyword. So this is very important because if you're writing on big data or say blockchain, that keyword is very important. It has to be part of the keywords. So it has to be appropriate, logical, applicable, and also searchable. Introduction. So when you talk about, say, medical bionics, I'm not having much idea about medical bionics. So if I'm reading your paper, I should get a glimpse in the first paragraph itself. So what normally authors do is they highlight what medical bionics is, just give an example, and they leave some references in the introduction and provide some. Then they go to the historical studies, what has been done till date, what is the hypothesis, and again, what is the overview of the results and how the article has been organized. Coming to the methodology, very important. When you refer many other articles, you will get an idea of which is the better method for you to solve the problem. Obviously, you can use the presence of tables, figures, and the graphs. And once you carry out that method, you will have the results, which will actually should be clear. You need to really take some time. If you are coming out of the table, you need to infer properly. So you need to provide the interpretation properly. That skill will only come when you start reading more and more. So reading is of paramount importance at this stage. So it will also you should also discuss why this research offers a new solution and how it can benefit other research professionals. Conclusion. Uh, in the beginning, you also come across this situation wherein you may confuse this with abstract. So many times, especially students, we have seen that what they do is they try and put both conclusion and abstract same. Whatever they put it as conclusion, they've tried put it abstract. So conclusion is not abstract. Conclusion is the last part of the article wherein you mention whether you're able to achieve the desired result and how it will help. Abstract is like the summary of the whole process, whole article. References, if I ask Vijayalakshmi Madam 20 years ago when she was writing papers. There was no luxury of the reference management tools. So you have to refer, because if you have referred 10 papers, there is a reference time, and 20, 30 years ago, people used to write it in hand by having, by following a format, proper format. Now, within 5 minutes, you can generate the reference list. So please talk to your faculty to know what is the reference list. I have used Mendeley, I've used Zotero. So these will actually come into picture at the last part of the article. So you don't have to worry at this point in time, but learning is very important. Ethics, one straight, simple message here. If you're referring a person's work in any matter, maybe by copying the equation or say image or say content, you have to provide due citation. That's it, nothing else. And you cannot deviate, or you cannot misrepresent or provide wrong results in your research. That's also will lead into the misconduct aspect. And if you have taken minor help, say from your librarian, then you can just put them in the acknowledgement sections, not as a key important author. So these things are a couple of important things. Also, paraphrasing also is considered as plagiarism, but even if paraphrase, you need to provide the original source of the article. But if you'd like to use the quotes, quote unquote, so you can use the paragraph, or say a couple of lines. You need to use the quotes before and after and refer the original source of the article. So if you are actually referring your previous paper, you need to inform that you're referring a lot of your previous papers or data here, so that it doesn't lead into rejection because of the plagiarism, right? And also, if you have presented a paper in conference and would like to add some more things and present it as a journal, you need to provide a covering letter and then add a couple of things. What is the improvement, and then submit it, so that if your article contains 50% of your previous article, then there will be like 50% plagiarism. That is a similarity percentage, which will obviously lead to rejection, but not to that. You don't want that to happen. You need to send a covering letter to the editor in chief stating that you have referred your previous paper and most of the content is from that paper. Coming to the last part of this presentation, author tools. IEEE provides a lot of author tools. There are some things which you have sunsetted here. We don't have a graphics analyzer now. So, but you can look at the publication recommender, wherein you can seek recommendation on, say, for example, if you're working on, say, bionics, which is the best journal for me to submit a paper on bionics. You can look at publication recommender. So they're all free tools. Please do check out the IEEE Author Center. There is a PDF checker. Once you're done with PDF, there is copyright facts. There are article templates for you, because for every journal or say letter or transactions or magazine, we do have different templates. Many journals also carry their own individual. So to refer all this, please do use the Author Center, that is IEEEauthorcenter.ieee.org. There are several tutorials also which are part of this website. So you can get to know how to enhance your article. There are also similar presentation which is recorded a couple of years ago. You can also refer that. And also know more about the IEEE Access and Open Publishing model. So with that, I come to my last slide. Before I thank all of you for your patience, hearing to me, I'd like to check if you have any questions. Excellent question I received today. A long time I had not received this. Is it possible to submit a paper to different journal to get check where it gets accepted? Very good question. I believe you are a newbie in the publishing world. This actually considered, I'm sorry to say, as a misconduct, because just to let you know, if you take Vijayalakshmi Madam, or say if you take Professor Sujata, or if you take Dr. Abhishek Kapaji, all of them are volunteers. They spend their personal time to review the articles. Okay, so it's bad on the author's part to send the same article to different journal. You cannot, because once you send it, there are like, I would say, 20 people involved in reviewing an article. Once send it to another journal, the similar thing happens. But you cannot send the same paper to the other journal unless second journal, unless you hear from the first journal that the article gets rejected or some reason. But if your wait time is too long, you can ask the status of the article, and if you think there is a better second journal, first you need to withdraw the article from the origin of the journal which you sent, and then send to the second journal. I hope this helps you. Okay, second question is it a good practice to bold the important points while writing a paper? I would say not really required, because authors would have provided some, the reviewers will have all this data, so not really required, because obviously the conclusion, that's why we have different sections of the paper. Like the conclusion normally carries that, the highlights of the article, and also the summary will carry the same element. Any more questions? Great questions, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can unmute. I mean, you can raise your hand. I'll allow you to unmute, and you can then ask.
Was this session helpful for the students? Anybody can comment on anything, so that we'll also get to hear if we have to add some more elements in the next presentation. So that will be kind of a feedback to us.
Okay, just wanted to check if you guys are there. If you are there, can you just type yes, no, something on the chat?
Wow.
Yeah. So this is how
Everybody
I handle, yeah, I handle 500 students, right, in my class. So this is how I make them to actually answer and come up with something. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, somebody writes amazing session. Thanks you.
So there is a question.
Okay, there's one question. Yeah, can you elaborate more on identifying keywords? Very good question. So, especially if you're carrying out a work, say for example, security in a cloud, or else let me do one thing. Let me take you to one of the, Abhishek, how about taking a paper on bionics? Is that a good idea? Or cobots?
Yeah, sure. I guess that's a good thing. Or we can take on image processing, medical image processing.
Image processing?
Signal processing is also fine.
Medical signal. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible to all.
No, it's not. Yeah, now it's visible.
Super. I have typed to medical signal processing. So I will, is the first one good one? Good article?
Intelligent diagnosis method, signal processing and medical signal processing, the teaching difference. Yeah, all are good actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just take something from BMS itself.
BMS College of Engineering Electronics.
BMS IT is also there, but there are many actually. But because see, it all depends on how the authors write. They sometimes they write B dot space M dot S. So it doesn't mean that you only medical signal processing. You only have like 3, 4. There may be obviously many of them. So let me see. You want me to take anything specific? Help me to identify. So take this non-linear. Oh, that was 1995. Sorry,
Yeah,
not an old one.
too old. Yeah.
Okay, let me take this. Okay. So we see here in the title itself, the authors have given keywords. So not only at least 2 to 3 keywords you can pick up from the title itself. Okay. That is number one. Number two is what is that you have worked on? If you're using, say, a method here or some unique method, you can find. So at the end of the day, the way how you should finalize keywords is you should look at from a reader's point of view. If a reader is wanting to search on variable modes, they should come to your article. If the readers would like to look at the old age home health care, they should come to your article. So likewise, so you need to identify what is that my article speaks about. Okay, if somebody searches on what is that my article speaks about, if somebody is searching on XYZ, my article should come up. Okay, which are those keywords? Likewise, you need to finalize. So for this article, the keywords finalized by the, again, a couple of things here. Look at always controlled indexing terms because they are the masters, the inspect. They index the IEEE Explore publications, and they've given access protocols. If somebody is working on, say, access protocols, and if there's type access protocols, this article will come up. If somebody is looking at medical signal processing, this article will come up. Somebody looking at cryptographic protocols, this article will come up. Likewise, IEEE has its own thesaurus, wherein we have given some relevant keywords. Authors themselves have given keywords here. Cyber physical system, healthcare, talking about a concept, wearable mode, FHIR, HL7, ECG, and IoT. So very important to look at what is that your article talking about, and when somebody searches on XYZ, your article should come up with what is that XYZ. So you should work back and find as the keywords. I hope that helps. Okay, one more question. For example, we get a novel idea and we search for similar papers to confirm whether it's technically possible or relevant, but the paper which is relevant to our idea is not approved. So how it has to be improved? Okay. So I would like to ask a question to you. So did you come across this scenario, or you're just asking this question? Because not approved means somebody has not approved. So I just want to know what is not approved here. Okay, you've gone through it. So you mean to say that you come across wherein you were told that it's not approved, right? Okay. Abhishek, you have any insights into this? What the students should do when they come across this situation?
So I pretty much didn't get the question. Gopika, if you can unmute yourself and tell us, that would be good.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Yeah, sir, I had come across this. I mean, like when I was searching for an idea, I thought it might not be technically relevant. So I searched a few similar papers, and one paper said that this idea it's not being approved because the novelties haven't been addressed. Maybe because they didn't address the differences which were similar to them in the publication, or is the idea considered to be technically irrelevant or something? I didn't understand that context.
Okay, so it's more about how you so your ideas, if you wanted to work on those ideas, is something which research world sees as novelty, as already Dhanu has said. So technical novelty as well as its application, it can be just application novelty also. So if somebody is using in terms of healthcare, if we talk, so if someone is using particular technology for say cardiac problems, can we use some similar technology for some other problems? So that kind of novelty, it can be there, or it can be something which is totally new in terms of technology itself. So you are defining a new technology which is really, really tough, but that's what also gets published. One more additional input I want to give is it can be something, though it's very novel, it is very crazy idea, and you feel that it's very important, but application wise, it may not be that good. So implementation wise, it may not be feasible. So that's why it might have not been approved. So that may be the case. So there are students who come up with saying, I want to do, this is something amazing, which I feel it's worth it doing. But finally, when you put it on the paper, they see that is it the application wise as well as the feasibility wise. You put just an idea and say that this is my idea, but it may not be approved because it's not feasible. So after a few days, you will realize that once you start working on that, that may also be the reason. Dhanu, you wanted to add something?
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you.
I second you on that, Abhishek. Yeah, that's right. So it again, people have felt that probably that is not feasible.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
So Dhanu, one more last thing is, if you
Yeah.
can just tell a little bit about IEEE Explore, how we can access in BMS-CE. So I'm sitting in BMS-CE, I can share my screen and I can do that, but my students are sitting at home. So how can they access?
Couple of things here. What happened was when the pandemic broke out, we have provided the username password to the libraries to access the subscription. So good thing is that thanks for the update that Dr. Chodap has retired. So you can just ask the library to help you with getting the username and password, because no student will see access provided by BMS College of Engineering when they are in their house or wherever outside the campus. But for that, also libraries have enabled remote access systems. Okay, so it's simple. Like so, the library will tell you the procedure to set up a library to set up an access to that. Some of the libraries have enabled VPN. So if the students join through VPN, I'm not sure. Some of the institutes have this, so they can directly.
Yeah, BMS doesn't have it.
So you have to be. Okay. So the best thing is two things I would do is approaching the library and getting some help, like getting the username password, or remote access system. So what I would do is, as a follow-up, I will just call up the librarian in some time, and I will send you the details so that you can forward it to the students.
Sure, that would be great. Yeah, so thank you, Dhanu, for wonderful session, and also our students were quite interactive. Thanks a lot, and Vijayalakshmi ma'am. So I have enabled, you can unmute yourself. Okay, looks like she has some difficulty. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Dhanu, for your time and giving us details about how to publish and how exactly you can find out and other things. So thanks for your time, and I'll share your email ID. You have already done, but I'll also write an email to all our students that in case they have any questions, they can directly write to you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks so much,
Yeah,
Abhishek, Vijayalakshmi madam, and
Yeah. Sir, thank you very much for your elaborative procedure, how to write a paper and what are the guidelines they have to follow before writing the paper. Thank you very much, Dhanukumar sir.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. Thanks so much for inviting me. Thanks to Dr. Abhishek Appaji and also BMS College. I wish all the students the best. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So now we'll start off with some of the things where I'll be only showing, I haven't made any presentations, but I'll be showing you some of the tools which you can use for a few things. So first thing is I'll show you is, let me open a new browser for you. So I will just show you some of the important things which you can practice in your while you're doing some research work or doing something like okay, so if you want to search for some very particular paper at okay, yeah, so if you want to search something very particular, so, for example, I want to search where should I publish. So Dhanu told you how you should publish, what are the reviewer comments, what do you mean by what are the contents of your paper, and so on and so forth. But if you want, so let me mute all of you so that in case if you have questions, please type on chat window. I'll keep a watch on that so that you can let me know. So there is one website which I would definitely like you all to check is MJL, that is Master Journal List. So this is what we practice in BMSC. I'll put that in chat window so that yeah, this is MJL, that is Masters Journal List. So Web of Science is a group within Clarivate Analytics which actually try to assess all journals which are there in the entire world. So this gives some of the very important aspects about where to publish, which journal is really good, who is the good researcher. And I'm also happy to share that recently Web of Science, Clarivate has recognized BMSCs as one of the most innovative innovative organization. Only 235 organizations like BMSC, which includes even industries, have been recognized from 9 different countries in Southeast Asia. So that's a wonderful thing about BMSC, and it's all because of the students and faculties of the college. So what is that? How can you search how important is your manuscript? And if you already have, you can also do find a match where you can just it's a free account, you can log in and you can do that. And where exactly you need to publish, or which journal you should try to do that. So for example, I'll give you a journal name, maybe something like I'll just give a keyword saying I want to do medical imaging. Okay, and then I'll give search. These are some of the journals which are very good journals where you can publish. Again, here, there is something known as quality factor on which basis we publish in BMSCE as well as globally. That is known as quality factor. So Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So if you take in, say, for example, biomedical engineering, top 25% of journals, which has more number of citations or more number of people refer, comes under Q1. Second top 25 to 50% comes under Q2, and third 20, that is the 50 to 75% is Q3, and 75 to 100% is Q4. So if you see, if I just put this, you see this number, 24,717 journals in global. There may be 100,000 journals. There may be 1 lakh, 2 lakh journals in global. All journals all over the world, all over countries and all those things. But their very important journals are 24,717. In this, there may be some journals which are part of biomedical also. So if you want to publish any journal, first thing you should target is very good conferences, which happens every year. It's a flagship conference, or you should target a journal. So how do you find a good journalist? Just go to this website, and then once you go, then you give whatever. So I will give again medical signal processing. Okay. So if you see 11,000, it got reduced to 11,000 journals. In this, if you see very particular, it says these are few of the journals which are very good. So after that, you can go to journal website and then try to see if it is good journal or not. But one more caution I would like to give. So if your paper, you think that there is novelty, but it doesn't have really a big novelty, which you think it can be published in very highly reputed journals, then you can go ahead and publish in one of these journals. There are different kind of indexing, which is this SCIE, ESCI, and so on and so forth. But if you feel it's very confident, it's very good journal, very good work, and you have done something really groundbreaking, putting some dent on the earth, something like that. So you should be going here and say that it includes in 2020 journal citation ranking. As I said, total number of, I'll just show you the difference. So if I just put it here, you see total number of journals are 24,717. But if I just use this toggle button, which comes under JCR, JCR is Journal Citation Ranking. If I just click on this toggle button, see the number of journals which has been reduced, 12,056 versus 24,717. What does this mean? Which means that there are good journals of high repute, 24,717 journals. In that, very good, very, very good are 12,056. So whenever I do, I always use this toggle button, search the journal. So I work in neuroscience. So I'll just type neuroscience and I get this. So this is really good journal. So I try to publish in these journals. But if you're first time you're publishing, then try to publish in these journals. And you need not pay any money to publish in these journals. It's all of them are free for review and all. Only thing is, if I want to access those journals, then as a reader, I have to pay. Not you shouldn't be paying. Okay. So this was very quick demo. So just on the chat window, can you just tell if you have understood? Yes, no. I want you to say yes or no. Okay, so as I said, there are 20,000 plus journals, 24,000 journals. In that you will be having, okay, this, if I remove this toggle button, I'll be having 24,000 journals. In that, I'll be only interested in publishing 12,000. This is like top-notch journals. So if you publish in these journals, you won't admit in very good university, the chances are very high because you've published in these good journals. Or getting job or anywhere, you just say, I publish in this very good journal, which is Web of Science recognized, then getting job is very easier. Fine. Awesome. So let's go to the second one. How many of you have heard of Google plugin? So you know Google plugin, right? Or plugin for your Google Chrome. So you have heard of Google Chrome, right? Yeah, so in that you have many plugins. So what you will do is, so whenever you're doing some kind of publications, first thing is, where do you search for papers? It's very easy. One of them, what Dhanu showed, is IEEE Explore, which I also showed you. And if you are in BMSCE, you will get a lot of access. So I'll just say medical signal processing. You will get this thing. All papers in conferences, in journals. See, number of conferences are 50,000, 58, and journals are so many. You just want to restrict the journal, you just put it, or you want to publish in conference which is happening somewhere nearby. You can also search saying, okay, there is this conference, so let me search if this year also in 2020 or 2021 it's happening. Okay, or what you can also do is you can just put the author's name. So I'll just put Abhishek Appaji, and I try to search if there is anything which Abhishek Appaji has published. So it gives me the list of papers. This is one of the paper in 2018, 2015, 13, 17, 14. So these are some of the papers which I have published along with few students or along with my individually or something like that. So these are my papers in IEEE Explore. So that's how, so 16 conferences I have and 2 journals in the, I just apply just 2 journals, IEEE Access 2 journals I have along with University of Sydney, or I just want also conferences to be included, which means everything. So I have around 18 journals and conferences, which is listed in Explore. So similarly, you can search based on authors, or you can search based on keywords, or you can search based on only conferences, only journals, citations, number of citations and things like that. So this is second tool, that is IEEE Explore. So first one which I taught you is MJL, Master Journal List by Web of Science. IEEE Explore to find which paper to refer, and Google Scholar is more generic one. And say I want to refer something on COVID-19 pandemic, you get tons of paper here. So it gives you 95,000 results, which is like huge. And interesting thing is here, if you just click on these buttons, these are some PDFs where you can just put it, and it will tell you if you have access to PDF. There are a few things, like for example, this one you won't have access to PDF, so it's very tough. You may have to log in and register, or your library in the college should have that access. So this is very important again for you. So if I tell you do a literature survey on something on ECG, what are the latest trends in ECG? So you'll just say ECG here and you start to search. And in that ECG, again, you will say, I want very particularly on arrhythmias. Or in particular, I want for detection or classification, or I want using SVM. It will auto suggest a lot of things which you can find out. Okay. So these are some of the things which you can check, and you can see that. And if you have something like this, hyperlinks like this, which means that yes, you have access to that, or you get some kind of a version to read the full paper. So for few of them, see this one you don't have access, which means that I don't have PDF access for that. This one also I don't have, but other things I have at when you sit in your system which has access. So I have related to this 35,000 papers. Fine. Now I got a question from Kritika who says, is there a similar website to find which conference to publish? It's like MJL. So MJL, you get to know only journals. So it's highly encouraged for you to publish in journals, but I want to publish in one of the conferences. So that's again possible with IEEE, where you can find out if you want to search for conferences. So there are something here, if you go here and then click on conferences, which are happening or which is about to happen. So I'll say which are about to happen in this. So there is one conference which is happening, but there is another way how you can do that is IEEE conference. I want to search what are the conferences which are happening in IEEE. So I'll just go here, IEEE search, conference search. Okay, so here I'll search here a new button has been added during pandemic. I'll just, it's search virtual conference only, but I'll disable that and I'll say biomedical conference. So it will start searching some of the conferences which is already there. see, these are some of the conferences which are happening either this year or it is happening next year or next to next year. So 2020, 21 and things like that. You can just give search and it will give you a list of all the conferences which are happening in biomedical area. If you want to give something related to medical imaging or image processing, signal processing, instrumentation, VLSI or statistics and things like that, you can just go and search here. Okay, this is one of the nice tool to have, and you can do some filters also. You can say location. So I am actually planning to go to USA next year. So I want conferences in USA. It will give you. Or you will say that, no, I'm going to Europe and can I have something related to Europe? Or within India I want. There are 4 conferences which are happening in India. So it will also show the results on the map. This is, oh, I'm sorry. So this is one of the conference that is happening in Pune in March, Chennai in August 2021, Erode in India, and Mathura. So these are 4 different conferences which are happening in India related, which can accept papers related to biomedical. I can also see all the results on map. So it will show you where are those, but I'll remove this filter. Okay, I have to remove this filter here, and then I'll see all my 38 conferences where all it's happening. So I want to go somewhere here in Hawaii or Africa, Spain, Vienna. So I'm going to Vienna next year. So can I get a conference there, or Greece? Or you want to go to Australia or somewhere in this island, again Hawaii. Okay. So Australia doesn't have any conference related. So this is how you search for conferences, Kritik. So how do you increase citation is the other question I have got. So increasing citations is not really in our hand. One of the best way to increase citations is to publish in very good paper. So I'll show you some of my publications so that you get to know which one has good publications and which one doesn't. So I will change my account. So if you see my profile here, okay. Okay, let me search my profile here. Yeah, see, this is my profile here. If you see, these are some of my papers. This one is very good journal, British Journal of Ophthalmology. I published in 2016. Within 2016, that is 4 years, 66 citations is wow. This took 2012. Again, it's a good paper. This one is me and Vijay Lakshman. We had published when I was students 10 years back, and 27 citations I've got. So if you publish in very good paper, you will get good citations. For example, see, this Asian Journal of Psychiatry is again good paper. Within 1 year, I mean, I published this is in March 2020. So within 8 months, I got 3 citations. So this was in psychiatric neurosciences. I've got 9. But this is my thesis, so you don't find that. This is in January. I haven't got any citations because it's a conference. But if you see this, this is schizophrenia research last year, somewhere in 2019 March or April. This is like 1 year back. This is also one and a half year back. So I've got 6 citations. This one you see, this is again bipolar disorder, very good journal, Q1 journal. It has got 16 citations within 1 year. So this is how. So if you publish in very good journal, you get very good citations. But if you publish in not so good journals, then you don't get citations very easily and faster. Okay. So do you need to be an IEEE member to access IEEE? So that's not true. If you are IEEE member, there may be some of the journals which you have access, but it's not necessarily have all. So from BMSC, we pay to IEEE to get access to a lot of journals and conferences. So that is, institute is bearing the cost, but being IEEE member, there are other advantages for you. Fine. So I showed you IEEE MJL. So let me list it on the chat window. So MJL, Master Journal List, and I showed you Google Scholar, how to search for paper and how to search for a scholar or a researcher. And I showed you IEEE Explore, IEEE Conference Search. Fine. So these are the 4 things which you got to know and what are their uses. So now next, let us understand some more things, some more tools. So I was talking about plugins, right? So how do you install a plugin in Google Chrome? I use Google Chrome much, so I'm just telling you, these are some of the plugins which I have installed. So I'll just give Google Chrome plugins. So here, if I go plugins and Chrome Web Store, there are one amazing plugin from Google, which is, sorry, it's called extension, by the way. Yeah. So here I will search a very important plugin, which is related for me, is Google Scholar plugin. So this hat, which you can see on my screen, I'm not sure if you're able to see this small hat on the screen. Even if I increase the font also, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. You can see a small hat, right? So let me show Google Scholar plugin. Yeah, this small hat you can see right here on the top right, which may be very small for you, but that is Google Scholar plugin. So if you go there, just say you want to add that Google Scholar button as plugin. So just go here and say add to Chrome. I have got removed because I've already added. You will add it. Now, can you tell me a topic where you want to? So all of you have done your presentations in terms of either mini project, major project, or your final year project, or you're writing for a paper. So all the committee members, when they sit for evaluation, one common thing I've seen is they tell you, can you apply in your, put your citations in IEEE format, or they'll tell you put it in some proper format of citations. So that is really tough because you don't know what's IEEE format. So that's the whole point why we are doing this workshop. So when we did, we got some of the students said, sir, can you tell how to find all those things? For that, best thing is use Google Scholar button. So put this button will be generated here. And how do you actually enable this button and use it is go to Scholars, say you are searching some paper and you're writing a paper. So I'll write a paper on related to this, maybe this paper. You just go to this, it will open the paper here. Now I want to put this as my citation here. So when I put this as my citation, so you just go here, click on the Google Scholar button. On the right top, you are able to see, right? Can one of you confirm saying you're able to see that window on the top, right? Okay, I see. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. So you are able to see this, right? So this is how it looks. On this, you have something known as cite. So I hope you were able to see. So I put this, I went to this particular website and I click on cite. There are different formats. Unfortunately, there is no IEEE format, but there are different formats which you will get it here. So one of the famous thing which many of you, if you end up in some of the universities abroad, they tell you write an assignment and your references, mind you, it should be in the IEEE format, or they'll say, most of them say APA format. So one thing which you have to do is APA format is, this is APA format, okay? American Psychological Association, something like that. And then Chicago format is there, Vancouver format is there, and different formats. So what I'll do is, so I'll just click on this, I'll say Control C, or I'll say copy, or I want in MLA, I just say copy, or I want in Harvard, I say copy, and then, or Vancouver, and copy, and then paste it in my doc here. So this is my one of the reference. So what I'll do is, here I'll go write my paper. So let me zoom it little. So what I'll do is, I'll write my paper here. I'll write my abstract, and then I'll say introduction. Before that, you get something known as keywords. Yeah. So I'll write this abstract keywords, introduction. In introduction, I'll write the world is now facing pandemic, so we have to invent ventilators, so on and so forth. And in abstract, you won't put any citations, but in introduction onwards is when you put citations. So here, world is facing pandemic. So I'll give you some reference. So what I'll do is, I'll go to my Google Scholar. Where is my Google Scholar? And I'll say COVID-19 pandemic, and I'll see, wow, okay, this paper is good, this paper is good, but this is giving relevance to farm system nutrition. So I'll click on this. You will go to this paper. Then what you'll do, you'll click on the Google Scholar button, and it will automatically click on site, go to whichever style. So last time I took Vancouver, this time also I'll take Vancouver style, and then I'll paste it here. Okay, I'll paste it here. Once I paste it here, this is 1. So I'll put this as 1. Next is I want to paste another one about ventilator in COVID-19. So again, I'll go to Google Scholar, COVID-19 pandemic ventilators. And there's critical supply shortage. So I'll write it here saying shortage of ventilators during pandemic, something like that. Then this is my 2. So here I'll go and then I'll click here and say this one. And then again, I'll take Vancouver style. I'll copy it. So I'll read this. Yeah, this is related to pandemic. So this is very apt for what I was looking for as reference. And then I'll go and paste it here. Okay, so this is done. So this is how you should start writing your paper. But sometimes you happen to refer this as, okay, this is one, but my second paper, I found it on COVID-19. So that is this paper. So I click here. It will give you right here or on the Google Scholar button. But usually we don't search here. We search in different tools, but this is also another way where you can find. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. So actually this is my 2. And this should become 3. Okay. So if you have very few reference like 5 or 10, it's very easy to manage this way, the way I showed you. But if you have like 20 reference, 30 reference, so while you write your final year thesis, then you may end up having almost 50 references or 100 references. At that time, it will be really tough for you to actually paste it, do this manually. And once you get your guide, so if you come to me, I'll say, no, this reference shouldn't come here. This should go back and things like that. For that, you will have a lot of problem in shifting. You would have made this as 3, but your guide will say this should be 10. So 10 should become 11 and 3 should go there. 2 should become 5 and things like that. 5 should become 50. And it will be really tough for you to do those things. So how do you actually try to mitigate this problem? This Google Scholar button is very good, very handy. But there are other tools like how Dhanu was telling about reference manager. One of the reference managers which I used, and I have a licensed one, it's known as EndNote. So if you just go and Google saying reference manager, okay, there are many things. First thing which pops up is reference manager EndNote, but there is also Mendeley. Mendeley is also free. EndNote is not free. Mendeley is free. Zotero is there. There are many such tools yeah, this is a good example. You have RefWorks, Zotero, EndNote, Mendeley, and so on and so forth. The one which I will show you today is EndNote, but Mendeley is also there. It needs installation and other things. And my system is little bit of, I have already used EndNote, so I can't use 2 reference manager at the same point of time. So what I thought was I'll show you in EndNote, and it's exactly similar way how you can do it in others. So this is my Word document, which is there. So here the same thing, let me copy from my other Google Doc, which I had created. Yeah, so you were seeing this right on the Google Doc. So same thing here, if you go to reference, you can insert these things in IEEE format as well. So here, this is the one which I've not installed. Even your system, your Word doc should have this. So you just say insert citation, write the author name as Abhishek, and then give title of the paper. This is journal name. Year is 2020, volume is 5th volume, issue is 2, page number is some 20 to 25. Okay, it is giving here example. See, as soon as you put here, it is giving example at the bottom. If you say show all, and here you should select the proper one and then click on OK. So one is there, and here if you go, the bibliography will automatically insert citation, and then here you say bibliography. So automatically this journal will come here. This is one of the way, but if you see here, you are putting everything manually here. So one is over, then next one I want to put 2 here. So I will just go and say that insert citation and second author paper, and then this is journal name, and this is sorry, title 2, journal 2, year is 2020, volume is say 7, issue is 5, pages is 20 to 28, and then say okay. So second one came. Again here I'll go and say bibliography. I'll get this paper. Okay, but this is really tedious process. Again, this is kind of manually, which is inbuilt inside the Word document. But I'll show you a better way which you can do, that is using EndNote. EndNote and Mendeley are similar. So installation processes, there are a lot of YouTube videos you can check. But I want to show the power of a tool like EndNote or Mendeley. So you just go and say insert. Sorry, you go to that EndNote or Mendeley will be somewhere here. There'll be a new icon which will pop up. So you will go and click insert citation. So I have some papers which is already there in my database. So it should actually pop up here. So it is searching. So these are some of the journals which I have. So I'll say insert. So it will go and it will insert here, and this is one. So what was it? So you had abstract, keywords, and then introduction. So I'll say retina is used for examination of the brain indirectly, and so on and so forth. And this is my first reference. Then I'll write, this is sample paper I am writing in the class. So again here I'll go and say EndNote and then insert the second citation, which is again mine, and again I'll put it as 2. See the magic which will happen here. The 2 is here and the 2 is already cited here. And I want the third paper also somewhere here. So instead of here 2, actually I forgot to put one reference here. So what I'll do, I'll go here and say insert citation, and I'll put this and I'll say yes, this is my second one. So see the magic which happens here. The 2 here will become 3, and 3 will become 3 will be there, and the middle one will become 2. Yeah, see here this becomes 2. This was 2 previously, if you remember, that is already there, and this things is already in order. So whole point here is, if you use such tool, it's very easy for you to actually manage everything by itself. Now whatever you do, I did it in JAMA format, but I want it in APA format, which I have already told you. So select another style, and then I'll say I want, it has a lot of styles, like thousands of styles. For each journal, it has its own style of referencing. So this you can do it by yourself. So let it pop up. Usually this doesn't take so much of time. So I want in say APA format. So I'll go here, I'll search for APA format. So it will be alphabetical wise. So A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, P. So APA. So APA 7th is the latest format. So I'll use this and choose. So what will happen here is, as soon as you choose that, see the magic, that entire screen, those things will automatically change. See here, the citation type, it is got changed. It was 1, 2, 3. Now it is different, how it is cited and things like that. Okay, so this is one of the advantage. No, I want in IEEE format. So I just click off a button, it changed everything into IEEE format. Just I'll click this. Automatically, you will see that everything gets changed into IEEE format. This is one of the amazing thing which is possible only because of such tools like EndNote, Mendeley, Zotero, and things like that. See here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So this is already in IEEE format. Okay. So these are some of the things which you can do. You need not worry this, you need not learn. So I'm just showing this as one of the powerful tool. But one of the easiest and fastest thing which you can learn by yourself, which I'll show you, is this one, which is paper pile. So there is one more tool. So we'll delete all these references, all these numbers. So before we go, what are the things we revised? I have to share the screen, right? Yeah, I'll do that. So what all we learned till now is, just searching which I typed. Where did I type? Yeah. So I have typed here. So what all things we learned till now? Oops. Oh, copying is not allowed. So what is that? MJL, Google Scholar, IEEE Explore, IEEE Conference Search, and what was the other thing? IEEE, Google Scholar button, and now I showed you EndNote, which is similar to Mendeley. So I've typed it on the chat window so that we can refer that again while concluding the class. So the next thing I want to show you is this, which is known as paper pile. Now in Google Doc, if you go, this is sample paper for the workshop. So in the Google, if you go, just type here saying add-ons and then get add-ons. Here you write, search whichever add-on you want. So one thing which I want is paper pile. Paper pile is again something similar to EndNote, but it is very friendly with Google Docs. It says already installed because I have installed, so you can just go ahead and check that later while you work on the papers. So what you will do in paper pile is again one of the amazing something similar to EndNote. So you just go here, add-ons and paper pile, manage citations if you click. What you used to do, you used to go to Google Scholar, search that, download that as citation and do all those magics. But here I'll show you an even easier way of magic what you can do. So abstract you have already written. Remember, abstract won't have any citations. Here you will put medical imaging as keyword, or device development, innovation, entrepreneurship. So usually you'll have 4 to 5 keywords in paper. So I've written keywords. Introduction, now I'm doing this COVID-19 is another one. So introduction, what I'll do is I'll go here and I want to cite. So what is that I want here? World is facing pandemic. So I want something on COVID-19. I hope you're able to see the thing on the right side of my screen. This is this. Can I get a yes from few of you saying you're able to see the right side, my Google Chrome tab, which says paper pile? Okay, somebody has said yes. Thank you for that. So what we'll do now is I want to write something on pandemic, right? So what I'll do here is I'll go and type here COVID-19. So in this, if I click on search online, so I'll get lot of such papers dated to that. Okay. So in this, I'll see which paper is that, and I'll click on here. If you click on website, it goes to that particular website and you can start doing that. So instead of that, okay, this paper looks really good for me and very recent. So I'll just go here and I'll read the abstract. Then there is a small button here, which is clicked here as cite. So my cursor, I'll place it here and then click on cite. It will automatically come here. Okay. This is my reference. Which format it is in? It is in APA format. You have all other formats available here. You can just go to more style and also search for other things. But as of now, let's follow APA format. Then the second one, which I want is on ventilators, right? So ventilators. I'll just go Google and check here, ventilators. Yeah, I got something. This looks comparison of two triage scoring guidelines for allocation of mechanical ventilators. So who should get ventilator? Maybe that's the one. So this looks interesting. So I'll go and click here on site. Automatically it goes and it will go and sit here because my cursor is here. Then next one is I want to put two citations right here. So I'll put my cursor next to that, and description of ventilators also I want there. So it will go next to each other like this. Okay. So it will automatically go there. And third one I want to put is here. Third one I want is ventilators during pandemic is the keyword. This is something good which I'll search online, and I'll get some more papers related to that. And I'll just put it here, rapid establishment of ICU, so on and so forth. And this is site. It will go here. This is wow, right? So you get everything here, but sometimes you may think, no, I want this particular article. So you just copy the URL and then type it on your paper pile. See what all things you can input here is authors, keywords, DOI, PMID, URL, and so on and so forth. Hopefully URL should work. See, it came. So you can just cite it here, or it can be something on related to, there is, say I want this. I'll just go and put it here. There is something also known as DOI, Digital Object Identifier. You can see that on screen. I'm copying it. So I'll just go copy this, and then I will go here on my paper file and then paste it here, and then click on search. So it will go to that particular paper where it is Digital Object Identifier are there, and then it should work. So here it's DOI, or we can just directly put, yeah, it should work actually. This is good journal. Yeah, sometimes because this isn't still in a new tool which people haven't really explored this much. So there is a lot of developments yet to happen, not as powerful as this one. So you have to just put a keyword DOI and then search, you'll get this, and click on this. You should get the next paper. Okay, this one looks bad, so I'll remove this. Okay. Then next thing is you want bibliography also, right? Or references, which should be listed at the bottom of your paper. So you just say update citations and bibliography, right side. It will format for you. And at the end of the page, it will give you what kind of citation you want, like APA1. So see here, it's already there. Let me reduce the font and spacing. So this is how it's already there. Your references are listed. Now I want one more paper somewhere here. New paper to be added here. So I'll just go here, search something related to medical signals. Click on search. And you got this paper, so I'll just put it here. See, automatically it came. Fine. So even your update citation and bibliography, it will format and update everything for you. So this way it's easier for you to do references. But now somebody wanted, like, sir, I want IEEE format because my guide, my professor told to search for IEEE. So I'll just go here and say search IEEE and then say save. See, it automatically IEEE gets here. But once you want those things here, what you should do is update citation and bibliography. You should put. Okay. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Already it's taken care here. So I want one more somewhere here in between. So this one, remember the numbers. So this one was 7, 6, 5, 4. Between 4 and 3, I want one more reference somewhere here. So I want something on medical devices. So I got something from web. I'm searching right here. I got this research fluorescence. This is not good. This is not good. So let me take, yeah, inventing medical devices perspective from India. So which we use for MDD, medical device development course in our college. So I'll just put it, remember I'm putting somewhere in between. So what do you expect? Here 4 should come, this should become 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? So we'll just put it here and click on cite, and it is come here. And after that, see, it is taking in different format. Just say update, and it should automatically change. Yeah, see here 4, 5. So I selected 2 of them, maybe that's why it came. So everything got automatically changed. This 4 and this 4 is same, so that's why it's showing the same number here. So all these things also are in IEEE format, right? So this is the best and easier way for you to use for students who are actually a new researcher. Very friendly tool. And if you just go to add-on, and everything happens here, and there's a quick start guide also if you want. It shows you some of the way how you can use this and other things and all. There is a cheat sheet available for you to see how do you insert citation, how do you insert footnote, cite a web, customize citation, so on and so forth. Fine. So this is how you will cite papers. So what all things we actually saw today, to summarize, is we saw master journal list, we saw Google Scholar. So I'll write master journal list from Web of Science to find what journal you have to publish. Second thing was we saw about Google Scholar to find papers. And third one was IEEE Explore for journals. I mean, finding the articles for you to read from journals and conference. IEEE conference search, how do you do? And Google Scholar button. Sorry, button, and then EndNote, similar to Mendeley. Mendeley is free, that's why I'm mentioning it. And the last one which we saw was in Word document, how do you insert citation? And the last one right now, what we saw was paper file in Google Doc. Fine. So this is what I wanted to share today in the class. And now let's discuss some of the things which you might have as any questions regarding this. So can you just let me know if you have any questions? I see a couple of questions on the screen. Please remember, this is very least thing which many of us use in the research. Very least things which I've showed, but there is abundant information which you will learn over the years. So even when I was a student like you, I didn't even know these things. You're fortunate that you know at least these things. But as and when you start doing your research, you will understand lots and lots of such things, which will be really helpful for you to write papers and do your research. So if you have any questions, you can either unmute yourself and ask, or you can post it on chat window. So do you have any questions, or did you understand? You can give by saying thumbs up, or you can give by saying clap, so that I'll also get to know that you are here. So I see a few of you are clapping, few of you are showing some of the things. So there is one more exhaustive session which we do for research scholars that will be somewhere late. I mean, not for you guys, but majorly for PhD students, I do it. It will be very exhaustive session on understanding each and every point of publishing and so on and so forth. Yeah. So let us see some of the questions. Please show. Yeah, Vijayalakshmi ma'am is telling, please show the IEEE format. Yes, ma'am, I'll show. Before that, I saw there were a few questions. What is the right time to attend a conference? Will it be too advanced to understand the topics if you attend now? No, I would say just keep on attending. If you get any opportunity to attend conference, at least first few conference, you won't understand what's happening, but later you will get to know what is good and other things. So we are having one of the conference which I am chairing. You can find me somewhere here. Yeah, I am chairing. Oh, this was last year's conference, but let me go to 2021. Okay, ComsNets 2021. So this is one of the conference which is happening next month, January 1st week. Every year we do this conference. It is happening in virtual this year, but if not, it will be a standard place that is known as Chancery Pavilion. Here there is one specific workshop which is exclusively for biomedical. So that is Net Health, which I am actually chairing. You can see me. Okay, this is panel. So you can see me. I am one of the chairs. So you can see this conference is really good, and usually we'll have 1 or 2 papers every year. This time also I see one of the paper from our college students. We have amazing speakers. You know, Kamakoti, who was behind Arogya Setu app during pandemic. He's a professor at IIT Madras. We have Kush Vashne from IBM Research. We have people globally everywhere in India and in world. You have different speakers. We have startups actually who are participating in this. And we have professors from different academia, from Arizona State University, IASC, AT Still University, Syracuse University, and BMS College of Engineering. So we have one more moderating sessions. These are some of the schedules. Amazing papers have been presented. So if you are free, you can attend this. By the way, this is, we have some of the students like Swarna, who's being amazing volunteer and who's helping us with this. And we also have Shrutika and few others who have registered for this conference as volunteers. But if there are still opportunities open for you to volunteer for this amazing conference, trust me, this is one of the very high quality conference which happens all over world, one which is in networking. And we are also partners. If you see somewhere, you'll see BMSC logo. Yeah, we are one of the academic partners, university partners. You can see BMSC logo here. So this is one of the amazing conference which happens. Unfortunately, not physical this time, but we will be doing physical next year, hopefully. But till now, it's been one of the amazing conference. And you can meet many people you want from Johns Hopkins, you want from Microsoft Research, you want from Stony Brook, University North South Wales, Industries, Cisco, IIT Kharagpur, Hawaii, Belgium, University of Antwerp, Videocan, some of the amazing people all over the world who actually come and participate in this kind of conference. So this is for your information. You can just go through this if you're interested, and you can also, if you need some passes, I'll try to get for some sessions. So just check that. But if you're interested to volunteer, you have to just write me. You can message me or WhatsApp or send me an email. I'll try to put you in one of the place where you can volunteer the virtual conference this year. So before we close, if you have any questions, please unmute and ask or type on the chat window. But I want to show you IEEE format of paper. Just go and go to manuscript template. If it is conference, usually we encourage students to write your paper finally in this kind of format. So if you go here, you get A4 format as well as US letter. LaTeX is another tool where you can use it. Overleaf is another template, which is paid one. It's not easy, but LaTeX is free. This is again one more big workshop which we can do. But A4, Microsoft Word, if you see, you can just download that on your desktop and start writing paper. They would have given very clear instructions for you to write. So I'm just opening that for you guys to understand. So let me share that Word document. Yeah, I guess you're able to see the Word document. So this is how the paper title goes. These are the affiliations of you. So you'll write your name, your friend's name who has contributed, and your guide's name and things like that. So you write all this, and you can write their email IDs listed here and so on and so forth. And abstract, you write here keywords, then introductions. So if you see, abstract doesn't have any references, but introductions here you have reference 1, 2, 3 and all. It's here, and then you write introduction after that, which also includes usually literature survey. Then you write methodology, and then some of the methods, like you have used MATLAB, you have used some hardware, so about that. And then you write about results, what results you have got, and then conclusion and discussion. So these are the things you'll write. If you have acknowledgements, you can write that. and say that I would like to thank my HOD, my college for providing me all the necessary infrastructure for doing the project, and then you'll write your references here. So writing references is a really humongous task for you guys or for any researcher. So thanks to those free tools which are available for all of them. So this is how the IEEE paper looks. You can also put some of the figures, tables. See, tables usually it comes on the top, whereas if there are figures, the title will come on the bottom. Yeah. So any questions? So I will share the link for you to download this so that you are able to. So just all class representatives. I see Nikita Neha there and Pratiksha, and also second year students. So we have 4 of them. So just share this in your class group about the template and other things. So any questions before we close the session today? So what is the right time to attend conference? Gopika, to say that there is no right time to attend conference. As soon as you have paper ready, there are hundreds of conferences. You don't believe the number of conferences IEEE organized globally every year is growing year by year. It at an average, as we speak right today also, there may be around 4 or 5 conferences which is happening somewhere in the world. So go ahead and once your paper is ready, apply for one of the conference. Only conference if you do right now is expenses you'll have for registration fee. You'll have expenses for traveling, stay, and then outing there and things like that. But if you publish in journal, nothing, no expenses at all. But only thing is it's not so easy to publish in journals. Yeah. So any questions before we close? No questions? So if you need any help, you can reach out to me. All of you have my coordinates, or even Vijay Lakshmi ma'am, any of your faculties, your respective guides. They'll be very happy to help you out. If you don't ask, nothing will come to your doorstep. So keep asking questions. We'll be happy to answer. So ma'am want me to show one of my paper as reference. Okay, so I'll just show you one of the paper as my reference. So let me go to scholar.google.com. I'll show you my latest paper, which was published recently. Yeah. This is an open source paper, which means that any one of you can go and download this paper for free. So this is how the paper looks. Let me download a PDF so that you understand it much better, how the paper will look like. The final version of paper will look something like this. So this is how is one of the Asian Journal of Psychiatry is one of the journals, and the publisher is Science Direct or Elsevier. So there are publishers. So IEEE is one of the publisher. Elsevier is one of the publisher. It is again, there can be different, Wheeley is publisher. Taylor and Francis is another publisher, so on and so forth. There are many good publishers who are there. And if you see, this is my title of paper, this is my affiliation. So I did my PhD from Maastricht University. So you see Maastricht University, and BMS College of Engineering department is also affiliated. Rest all are my colleagues from different institute, that is National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience, NIMANS, as well as Maastricht University, Netherlands. So keywords, if you see, bipolar disorder, cerebrovascular disorder, cognitive impairment, fundus, retinal vasculitis, schizophrenia, these are keywords. Abstract, there'll be a restriction of so many number of words, 200, 300, depends on each journal. And then I have written introduction. See, the citation style here is different. So I've written a citation style. I'm corresponding author for this, and details of mine is put here. You can see references, how it is differently placed. It will directly show what reference it is here. And I've written introduction. If you see, this is introduction. And then I've written methodology. Who are the participants, study participants? How did we assess memory? How did we acquire retina and measure the vasculature? How did we did statistical analysis is mentioned here, and results, comparison of these results, what we did and things like that. And finally, the discussion part is here. tables, everything. So you need not sit and do formatting. That's the advantage of journals. So I didn't sit and do all this formatting. I gave a random Word document to them, which I write normally how I showed you in the demo. I wrote the paper typing, and they actually take it after the review. They will format. There'll be editorial office. There'll be one Guneshwar sitting there who will actually do all the formatting very wonderfully. They have awesome tools already with them, and they will do it so that it looks very beautiful like this. So then you have conclusion. So this, what are the funding source we got? Any disclosures, competing interest, acknowledgements, we didn't want to thank anyone, and supplementary data if you want anything additional, it was here. And these are references. So I did not sit and do all these references, but of course you have to tell what paper the way I showed you, but later they will put this format and all I had given, but linking like this, if as soon as I press this, that linking was done by them. I didn't do it. Okay. Fine. So any questions before we close? Are we good to close?
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek sir. The session was so informative. I think the students have got into the information, whatever Abhishek told, how to search paper and how to referencing, and also finally how the full paper template looks like. IEEE template also sir showed. Just if you could download the template and keep on inserting your documentation in it, everything, the style, font, everything will be adjusted to that template itself. Okay, that is one of the advantage. The last what Abhishek sir has shared you the template, you can keep on putting the words or a content in it. It will format by itself. And also the referencing, also Abhishek sir told, okay, this is too complicated. We know during your graduation program, even though it looks complicated, but if you have an inclination towards learning this, and if we say some marks is there for this, definitely I think you people will sit and learn this. Okay, so I think the students will take it forward. Still, whatever the topics told today, I think you go through it. If anything, if you don't understand, always you are welcome to ask any clarification from the faculties or the Abhishek sir. Always we are here to help you people. Okay, help you students. Thank you very much, Abhishek.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for organizing this and inviting me. And as ma'am already said, it's very tough for you at this point of time. If you see, it may be some rocket science, but once you start using it, even for me, it was tough initially, but now it's like a cakewalk. So once you start using it, once you write one paper, then you'll get all the doubts. And by the time you finish, you'll be very comfortable to write the next paper. So with this, thanks a lot for your time which you have spent on a weekend with us, learning something new. I hope it was useful, and bye.
Abhishek sir, if you want a photo session, you can ask them
Yeah,
to.
so if you, yeah, I can do that actually. So
yeah,
if you want, you can switch on your camera. I can open the, I have very huge screens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 49 photos will come together. So if you are interested, you can switch on the camera. I see Kalpana, I see Vijay Lakshmi ma'am.